Fannie Willis is a strong black woman that shouldn't be tested.
I very much want to be.
Not so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, it'd be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Ms. Merchant's interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine.
So your office objected to us getting Delta records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
And, well, no, look. I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
October 2019 at Judges Conference.
We haven't gotten to the point where
Should she be disqualified? There are some people that don't. There are some people that don't think she should be disqualified. Take a look at News Nation reporting.
So a judge is set to decide whether to remove the Fulton County DA, Fonnie Willis, from that election interference case against Donald Trump and others. That case centered on efforts to overturn the results of the last election in 2020. And in Georgia, President Biden, of course, won. And we've seen this testimony. There's nothing to do with the case itself, but it was quite dramatic last week on the misconduct claims against Willis, accused of benefiting financially from that romantic relationship with a special prosecutor named Nathan Wade, who she brought in on the case. So let's talk more about this with the trial attorney, Michelle Thomas, who joins the program right now. Michelle, thank you for coming on. When, I guess, number one, and what do you expect this decision from the judge to be? How do you think this will all play out now that we've seen the testimony?
Sure. So thanks so much for having me. The problem is that the defense did not necessarily show that there was a financial benefit and therefore a conflict of interest that justifies the disqualification of the prosecutor, of Fonnie Willis or the special prosecutor. I do expect the court to issue a ruling that identifies the weaknesses, certainly with credibility issues and testimony on Fonnie Willis's part. But do I think it rises to the level of disqualification? I do not, because for the most part, the allegations, the salacious allegations we heard last week during the trial, are unrelated in large part to the issue of the election fraud and stealing.
Well, we'll see.
She won't get disqualified because this is the biggest case that she's ever had. So what are they going to do to disqualify her and destroy the whole case?
How quickly, I think, is interesting, too, because we're all interested in the timing of these cases. The judge rules, because then how quickly does the trial begin? But you say Fonnie Willis, Nathan Wade stay on the case. I want to ask you about New York, because we covered breaking news on the show on Friday with this civil suit involving Donald Trump. We'll put up the numbers, and Trump fines 354 plus in the civil case, 354 million plus, 83 million we have for the E. Jean Carroll defamation case. But you put interest, you add interest in, and it's like $500 million in total. So how will this one play out? Because I know the former president and his company, and they're going to appeal. But what does he have to come up with, and how quickly does he have to come up with or get somebody to post a bond?
Yeah, the former president has a problem. He's essentially house poor at this point. I understand that he had about $420 million in cash. And as you pointed out, he now owes more than $500 million between multiple cases. And so I do think that within the next 30 days, he's going to either have to pay the money to the court for it to be held while his forthcoming appeal is pending, or he's going to have to get an appeal bond. The problem he has is that he's been found to have lied to banks about his finances and about the amount of wealth that he actually has. So who is going to lend to him at this point to justify or support an appeal bond? So that's an issue that he's going to have to figure out within the next 30 days, as I understand it.
Next 30 days. Okay, so who's going to lend to him on that? But also, how would the appeal go? Let me put up part of the summary judgment from the judge, Arthur Engeron, in this case. Their complete lack of contrition, he wrote, and remorse. The complete lack of contrition and remorse borders on pathological. They're accused not only of inflating asset values to make more money. The documents prove this over and over again.
Yeah.
Talking about the former president, his sons, Don Jr. and Eric, and others at the company. So where's the avenue here for appeal? Is there one?
Yeah, he's going to appeal. Now, the viability of that appeal and whether he'll be successful is another story. I don't think he will, mostly because this court went through painstaking detail in what was, I believe, a 92-page opinion identifying all of the lack of credibility, all of the refusal, as you mentioned, to acknowledge wrongdoing and be accountable for the role that he played in the business's fraud that he committed. Because of all of those issues and because the court went through such detail identifying and justifying its ruling, I don't see a court of appeals finding an abuse of discretion that would justify reducing the amount that he has to pay or overturning it or remanding it. So that's the hurdle. Is we have 92 pages worth of this court identifying all the reasons that supported his ruling to the tune of $354 million, and that's probably going to stand.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't
I don't think she's going to get disqualified. They've done way too much. She made a couple of mistakes here and there. But the judge is going to do his best to just keep him on. I'm trying to fix the microphone right now. It is what it is. I'm just having a bad day today. I did have a video ready. Let's take a look at Jesse Waters. This sucks.
Welcome to my channel where I compile trend Jesse Waters breaking news. Jesse Waters questions President Biden's cognitive ability and looks at the implications of the special counsel's damning report.
In the 16th century, Italian diplomat Niccolò Machiavelli crafted a blueprint for achieving political power. The Prince illustrated one of the guiding principles in the art of politics, that a prince will be despised if he's considered changeable, foolish, or weak. Machiavelli says a prince should always show courage, seriousness, and most of all, strength, because without it, Machiavelli believed that it would divide your base into factions, and your weaker factions would be preyed upon by your political enemy and turned against you. And whether they want to admit it or not, every American politician has read Machiavelli, and they go to great lengths to hide weakness, fearing it, if they show weakness, voters will show them the door. FDR, America's longest-serving president, was wheelchair-bound for long stretches. The American public clueless to his handicap.
Machiavelli would be proud, or thoroughly entertained, to see The Prince being used as a how-to guide for modern politics. Stay strong, lads, or modern media will eat you alive.
FDR devised a way to walk using leg braces and the arms of his most trusted advisors. Woodrow Wilson had a stroke that partially paralyzed him, but his wife, Edith, served as shadow president until the end of his term. Although JFK went out of his way to display his youthful athleticism, behind the scenes he struggled with excruciating back pain, so debilitating he was forced to wear a back brace and undergo invasive spinal surgeries. But you'd never know. Not only did Reagan survive an assassination attempt, the bullet reaching within a half an inch of his heart, there were concerns late in his second term about Alzheimer's. But the Reagans handled it gracefully.
You're not getting too old.
I wonder why the audio switched to 3. I mean, right now the microphone's a little bit far away from me, so whatever it captures, it captures. Oh man, I'm having a bad day today. What's today? Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday. I should have streamed on X. Let me see, can I add X? All right, I added X while streaming. I'm going to stream a little more and then I'm going to get out of here.
Run again, are you, sir?
How would you like a piece of cake, Sam?
FDR's legs may not have held him, but his poker face sure did. Next level bluffing skills hiding that wheelchair with just a smile and a wave.
Biden's been in Washington for 40 years. He knows when there's blood in the water. He knows that any weakness will be seized upon by the press and his political enemies, and even members of his own party. Biden's the oldest president in American history. He suffered 2 brain aneurysms. And let's be honest, he was a serial plagiarist who was really never known for his intellect. Biden's brain was an issue back in 2020.
Please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken the test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
I mean, I don't even understand the point he was trying to make. Perhaps the point, it's an insulting question to ask.
Woodrow.
Yeah, so Joe Biden makes no sense. Now, let me see how this records at a level 3. I think I switched it up to a level 2 in between all of this. And I don't know, my brain is everywhere. I have no idea what to talk about today. Like, I really wanted to do something on Fannie Willis. And I just can't come around to finding the proper video. Or the video is everywhere, and I just can't seem to find it. I had it clicked up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream and take a look to see what's the audio at a 3 from this distance. All right, welcome, people. I want to do a video with the microphone there. Really cannot be seen by the camera. So you know what? This works for me. Because in the past, before I pressed the microphone by mistake and I messed it all up, messed up the recording. And if I can record from this distance, this will be excellent. I don't mind not having the microphone in front of me. And all I can do is just raise my voice and talk. I need to talk. I need to talk more often. Put my thoughts out there. Let's take a look at this video, see what it sounds like. Peace.